What a bitch. Who the hell does she think she is? Can't even remember the names of her group members. I'm so putting in a request for a group transfer after this one. This place, though. Freaka Towers. I should make a note of visiting here more often. Maybe with some better goggles next time that will actually let me enjoy the street art. Let's see. I should be about 9-10 missions away. Yeah, soon I should be able to pay for that new cybernetic eye. The one the doctor has reserved for me. Oh, and right. Parkour training tonight. That should be good. After we book these 3 dangerous beauties, I'll be on the highway before Nisha can say the word sensei. This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
A few days later, at your headquarters, called OPC, Lieutenant Yao calls you to him. And as far as you know, basically you don't know what happened in the case. I don't think you have looked into it. But Sensei has been continuing, whenever you wear your glasses, to give you lots of data, even on your colleagues. Of course, some of them are highly suspect. Backgrounds as mercenaries.
So we're supposed to keep these between for another missions as well. So
yes,
it's
apparently. Yes.
Evaluation time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently. This is a trial as far as you've understood it, of the equipment. And the rumor around the headquarters is that they aim to install it on your main servers in a few days.
Did any other team have to wear these?
No, you are the trial team. I mean, you are the wildcards after all. So they gave it to you guys. And of course, you've been asked to do several evaluations of it as well, that you have dutifully filled in.
So I have to wear it when I'm not on duty?
No, you don't.
Oh, thank you.
So in this world, yes, the company, a lot of people are basically indentured servants to their companies.
Yeah.
And then it's a different matter. But you are not. You actually have the luxury of having a stable salary without any strict obligations to the company. Of course, with the exception that you can't talk bad about the company even in your spare time. That won't, then because then you would get fired. But
Other than that, we do actually have spare time.
However, it's quite early this morning, a few days later. And there is a sense that you basically just been arriving and hanging out in the coffee room. There is a mood around the company that something has gone wrong. And you're basically shoved into Lieutenant Yao's little office. The headquarters is it's not a very big building. It's a bit west in Kai Tak, a slightly better area, but still relatively run down. Your building has a proud sentry display with holographic effects, but it dominates the neighborhood really. The rest is run down apartment blocks, some clubs, bars and small noodle stalls.
What was the name of the drink that I had before?
It was a Mecha-Cola. Yeah, it's a classic brand, very cheap. It's halal too, but it's not. There's no meat in it, so it doesn't really matter.
I open a Mecha-Cola as we get into the office.
The lieutenant was in his past an immigrant from the collapsed China. He has a tendency to make outbursts in Mandarin whenever he gets angry. He has a big, bold eyebrows and with a perpetual frown, and wrinkled skin like bitten by lots of Hong Kong dust and smog. He has a small desk. It's a bit cluttered with small objects and tiny pods and equipment. Always polishing his gun, of course.
Do we have a corporate uniform in some way?
Yes, you do actually.
Yeah.
There's even a picture of it, basically. But
yeah.
So you have glasses, helmets. Possibly the glasses are on the helmet as well, and then you have a flak vest, lots of pockets. You might even have a kind of military gear, but with a big company logo, so that even at a glance people would know that you're police and not soldiers. However, the distinction is not important, because there are like heavily armed mercenaries working in the Krims too.
Okay.
but you are slightly you won't get the very hardcore missions. If you have something really, really, really dangerous, well, you would hire the Nimrod company for who are actually military contractors, for example.
I hate his office. Every time I go in there, I absolutely hate it. I always really want to put some of the things on that desk away, but I don't.
He has this classical thing with iron balls that meet each other, right? And lots of these kind of boring, banal office things that are only there to look pretty while being extremely uninteresting. And you know nothing about this guy that makes him appealing in any way. It's not that he's malevolent, he's just boring. He loves order, and in his love for order, he could possibly become dangerous. Sensei doesn't think that, however. Sensei gives him a big, nice yellow aura, saying he's not likely to lie, he's trustworthy, and has a distinguished career in police enforcement.
I just await further instruction, brushing a hand through my buzz-cut hair. Buzz-cut after all, because you don't want someone to grab your hair when you're in a firefight.
Indeed.
Yeah. I have a jock strap on top of my armor, and it's covered with leopard skin, and I adjust it before I stand in salute. Well, not proper salute, but at the ready.
Yao looks a little bit disparaging at you. It's not that, because he can't really prevent you from wearing this.
Yeah.
Because it's not in the company rules that you can't do it. But he hates it, nevertheless.
I smile.
So, he looks really irritated today. Sensei actually notices that and proudly displays that, yeah, he's definitely an irritated. Down. There is a tiny star around him because he's a cool guy, but that star is having a sad smile now. So, you arrested 3 Chinese African women a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Oh, let's see. He's so old-fashioned that he occasionally uses paper, while you haven't seen a book in your entire life. That's something exotic to you.
I look over at the printer in the corner. It's like, it still has that thing.
So, this was Demetra, Albu, and her daughters, right? Yeah, so they've escaped. Or rather, the daughters have escaped.
From Genetica?
No. That's the problem. We never had time to hand them over to Genetica before they escaped from our holding cell.
Oh.
How did they manage this?
Yes, so apparently the guard, Mr. Sheng, who has long since been fired now,
Of course.
he got a false order from an external source that they were to be released at once, and they were flagged as set for release. And he, being the stupid fucktard that he is, he let them go.
So that makes them important.
Well, Genetica wants them, and if we don't get them, Genetica will
Get us?
fire us. And they are our most important fucking contractor.
Of course.
And I take it that you have had people working on tracking the signal that sent the order.
Well, yes, but he looks awkward. We haven't made any progress with that.
Okay, I was under the impression that the Sentry had the finest hackers in there.
Well, so between you and me, right?
Yeah.
And this lips sealed, right? It might be, hypothetically, that we don't have the finest hackers because our human resources people just fired all of our fucking tech security division due to the lack of progress.
Bureaucracy, eh?
So what I need to know is I need to know everything you know about these twins, because the mother, what she did, she cannot have done it herself. Hacking the equipment from Genetica demanded a high level of skill that our evaluation has shown that she does not possess. So it has to be her daughters.
That explains why they would have them released and not her.
Yes, it's a conspiracy, all of it. You can't trust criminals. That's what I always said. Not anything they say. But Sensei will aid you. I need to know whatever you know about these people. Did Irosumba give you anything? Did Sensei give you anything?
Well, Sensei didn't know much about them. Just classified them from what they looked like and their origins.
And that they didn't have any criminal record.
No, but they belong to the Anons, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
The mother insisted that her daughters be let go, and that only she was responsible for the crime. Obviously, I'm not a judge, but maybe that's come into it somehow.
We need to find them before Genetica learns that they have escaped.
Wonderful.
So you will be here full time, and extra if need be, to await any information that I will. If I learn anything, I will send you out immediately. Okay? Because this is your fuck up, not mine.
Excuse me?
I'm not going to be responsible. You are now.
And how do you figure that, sir? We followed your orders to the letter. That's all recorded. And Sensei, I believe, was monitoring the whole situation, so therefore he'll be able to confirm that we did orders by company policy, by company word of law.
And
You, on the other
budget.
hand, seem to have misplaced your intel and fucked up. I'd be quite happy to testify that you are the one in this scenario who might need to be fired, sir.
Roll boss.
Wow.
Do you want to spend flow? It feels like a
Yes,
flow
I do.
Yeah.
And how much do you?
You can spend however much you want. So you can get a ridiculous amount of die, but ultimately
okay, so you get-
that will give you diminishing returns
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you can only keep 2 dice.
So you spend 1 flow to get 1 die. Yeah.
And then however many dice you roll, you keep 2.
21.
Yeah, that's sufficient. He actually looks... Well, he looks like you just crushed him, really. He's fumbling to find a response, but after a few awkward moments, he just sighs. Very well, very well. But nevertheless, we need to find her.
Agreed.
Yes. So you will wait for the order to, because we will scour the fucking city. I will rain death on anyone who stops me from finding these people. Okay? It's just a matter of time. All Sentry's resources will go into finding them. Oh well, all the resources I have command over. Okay.
And he's calling us the wild cards.
Did you say that to someone?
Well, I kind of did, yeah.
He's so distressed that
Yeah.
he doesn't even pay attention. Well, to be honest, he never pays attention to you.
No, of course not.
He just. But okay, well,
I shrug at your remark.
with that, he sends you away, and you are left to languish for a few hours on standby, basically.
I go over my weapons, polishing stuff, working with them.
You don't have many friends in the company, except for most of the people are higher pay grade than you at this point, and are often out on various missions. But of course, occasionally there is an awkward conversation around the masala maker or the coffee machine, or even the tequila machine that someone bought a few days ago, probably with civil forfeiture money. Oh well.
I just sit by idly, taking out a basic pocket knife I own and twirling it between my fingers, back and forth, back and forth. I'm very impatient. The order to not investigate on our own, well, I say aside to Tok, we could probably achieve a lot more than he could in half the time.
I would go to the clinics that they were helping out.
I admit, that's actually a very good idea.
But of course, we're not doing anything, so.
Yeah, we could start by, we could be asking around questions, seeing if, I don't know if it could be any reports on people having recovered their ears somewhere, people that usually would have lost their ears. I don't know who would ever report something like that.
Well, I can't tell you two to do anything, but you are in your free time. Not like I'm watching. And I sort of raise an eyebrow at both of you.
Could we do that? Could we go out?
If you go out, you would be breaking his order. Yeah. However, you could come up with an excuse, right? I mean, it wouldn't be grounds for firing you, but he might give you a strong reprimand or even refuse to pay you for the hours you were missing. But you can always say, no, we needed to do some background work on another case or whatever, right? So there are excuses you could use, but ultimately, I mean, what I'm saying is it's not a serious offense, but of course it's not what you're supposed to do.
I don't think it'll be worth it. I need the money on this one.
You could, of course, always, this is a thing that you could look up on the layers, but the people down in Choi High Estates, they are very poor. They would use the layers too, just as much as the next guy. But they probably wouldn't be the people who have a very active life there.
No.
They probably they don't blog, they don't vlog, right? So the likelihood of them writing about their new cool ear online is slim.
Well, Mr. Ilo Sumba did say that they were helping clinics in Frika Tower. Didn't he?
Yeah. And you could, of course, always look for the twins, because they, if they are in Anon, are very likely to have a very big layer activity.
Yeah, probably.
Where is the mother now?
She's in a holding cell in this very building.
Would I be able to go down
Yes,
and have
no
a word?
problem. Yes, no problem.
Well, maybe she needs a medic to check up on her.
I agree.
Yeah. I heard she took a nasty tumble or something. She's still Genetica's property. We wouldn't want anything to happen to Genetica's property. So...
Let's go and have a word. Are you coming, Jack?
It's Patch.
Jack, are you coming? Darling?
I'm coming, Mommy.
Good boy.
With that being said, you take an elevator down a few floors. Again, this is not really Sensei's area, so you don't get many displays here. Though, of course, as always, almost everything you see is slightly enhanced by the augmented reality around you.
Do I have a med pack or a satchel?
I think yes, but it's very small.
Yeah.
It's very, very compressed, very efficient, very slim, stripped down equipment. You do have some stuff. It's mostly for treating bullet wounds, because that's the most likely thing to happen to you guys.
I have replaced the container with a rainbow kind of thing, with sparkles, of course.
Does it sparkle vibrantly? Because with these glasses on, you could make it sparkle like there is no tomorrow.
Of course.
Yeah, awesome.
It's almost like blinding, but I kind of keep it at the front so everyone can see I'm on official medic business.
I sigh a little as I look and I go, Talk, can't you at least try and colour match? Just a little.
Then no one will notice, sir.
Demetra Albu is held in a small prison cell with just the basics and these foreboding concrete walls. There is nothing to decorate it, and the layers here are completely empty. All it says is, did you get this? Someone has long ago posted an ironic sign here in the augmented reality that says, "Welcome to prison," with bold, vibrant letters. But except for that, there is nothing really. Far away, in a coffee room, you hear some guard babbling in Chinese. But it's like, he's probably angry about something. You don't know. So you don't have the keys to actually let her out, but you can't talk to her through because you can open a little slot, in the door and communicate with her. That's no problem. And you can also see her on a pop-up in your glasses. You can easily get to see her cell because your glasses, of course, are connecting to the closed-circuit camera here. So you could, and of course, she's under video surveillance at all times. And of course, again, somebody has been looking over the footage of the twins escaping, of course, right? Yes. That has obviously been done. In this society, the watcher is everywhere. You can see everything.
What tactic are you gonna use? Are you gonna say her daughters are in danger or something?
She's a mother. I'm a mother. We might be able to find some mutual understanding. If we don't, then we don't.
She has like an orange jumpsuit with a Sentry logo on it, and that's really all. There is from here you can't see any obvious bruises or something. She just looks a bit bitter and downtrodden. Someone has given her a plastic mug of coffee that she's drinking. She gets up to you immediately.
Yeah. I go in, open the hatch.
What do you want?
So,
Sentry registers her as a, strangely enough, bigger threat than before. There is an orange, almost hot layer now. She's likely to lie. She's likely to possess dangerous info, but she's not a big threat. Obviously, because there is a metal door between you.
she's a mother bear. Cornered. It makes sense. So, what's the plan? You've taken the fall. They're gonna go away scot-free. We'll never find them. And you go down for the crime that they committed, which, by the way, we know that they did it, not you. But I get it. You want to be here because you're protecting your kids. Am I right?
Well, why do you care?
I'm a mother too. I'd do anything for my kids. Anything.
I would say that you can make that a boss role, actually.
I shall spare the flow.
Yeah. She's slightly harder to convince, so I will set the difficulty to 22.
Yes, my manner's very steady, very controlled. I'm saying everything extremely confidently.
Yeah.
After all, I'm not lying in this.
If you fail, you might still get something out of her, but not the thing you really want. Yeah, that's very good.
Well, roll another dice.
She approaches you with something slightly more sympathetic in her eyes. Sensei continues to appraise her as dangerous. However, the displays also clearly says that she's slightly focused and expecting something good. Like, there is a thin smile on her lips. Yes. I guess you are. Well, wouldn't you do whatever you can for your kids?
I would. In this case, you're sitting here while they are out there. We're going to find them. If it's not me, then someone else.
Well, you wouldn't betray your kids, would you?
I wouldn't.
So I won't betray mine.
Ah. But here's the thing. If you don't, they're going to hurt your kids. Very badly.
They will anyway. They stole from Genetica. I mean...
Why? Why did they steal? And why print ears if you have your hands on something like that?
To help those poor people. They don't have ears, they need them. That's plain and simple.
Well,
Sensei thinks that's a lie.
Here's how it's going to go down. Our boss is very angry. He's going to tear up an awful lot of places looking for your 2 children. He's probably going to kill a bunch more kids, a bunch more families. Every place they hide is going to be turned out, inside out. And they don't care who gets in the way. I don't really care either. But I do care about getting a job done. I would bring in your kids as non-lethally as possible, and I would try not to get anyone else in the way. It's simply a matter of economics, you see. And my associate can back that up. So the question is, would you rather have your kids brought in by someone who's going to treat them as a commodity, or someone who's going to treat them as nothing? Because my boss is going to bulldoze down buildings to get them. As long as they're in his hands, I'll try and deliver them, at least with some dignity.
Did you meet a shifty guy called Marcel?
Yes, we did. We're testing things for him.
Yeah, alright. My girls are at the Widow Powell's pleasure dome. Or not dome, it's more like a boat. I don't know why they call it a dome. It's a boat, it's a junk.
I'm trying to read through my sensei glasses now if she's still inclined to lie.
Sensei eagerly displays that she's lying. But then there is a slight delay, buffering, and then suddenly bold letters pop up about the last thing she said. Down, down, likelihood of them being there. 85%.
I just look at the both of you and I nod.
Well, thank you for your time.
You have no idea what you're in for.
I smile. Oh, I like it that way. But for what it's worth, as I start to leave, you have my word that I personally will try and bring in your kids alive. Pinky promise.
She gives you a faint smile.
I try to read Nisha here. Is she telling the truth? Does she have kids as well?
Roll empathy. Again, you could bring up her data from Sensei.
Without her hearing?
Yes, because it's only in your glasses. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, normally, yes, of course, Sensei is run by voice command.
Yeah.
But you can control it with hand gestures as well, which he's not looking.
Yeah. Okay. So I walk a bit behind and I do that.
But you have to scroll your way through it. But yeah, so roll two extra dice for Sensei. So it's an 8 and a 2. So you take the 6 and the 8, right?
Yes.
And you add
Empathy,
yeah.
which is just 1. 15.
Sensei would know, right?
Yeah.
That yes, she does indeed have kids, but that's really all you can learn, and you don't know how sincere she is. Sensei continues to register her as untrustworthy. The kids are a liability, obviously, very probably according to the data that pops up, unhinged.
I make a point. You have kids?
Yes.
Ah.
And I don't say anything else. I simply nod to Tok Tok and say, let's head up.
Yeah, kids. Never saw that one coming.
As you leave the corridor from Demetra's cell, she shouts after you, "You have to let it go!"
Let what go?
She's silent.
Irrelevant. And I go back upstairs.
You do the... I go back to her. Let what go?
Why do you care?
I don't. But why did you say that?
My daughters only want to do good. They aren't evil. We only wanted to help people, and they will help you too if you let them. Go and talk to them and you'll see.
What do you want me to tell them?
Nothing, they know already.
So I'll send your regards. And I'll go.
Will you go tell Lieutenant Yao, or will you just go to the place that she mentioned? Because you all know where this place is. It's a relatively famous place.
I'll ask Tok Tok. What do you think?
Well, we're not supposed to do anything, so we haven't done anything, right?
Correct.
Probably they have this information already, in some way or another.
I come up in between them. What do you mean? What? Are we not going to tell him?
Does he want us to?
Well, if there's the probability of their place of existence, of course you would want to know.
It would be wiser to tell him in this scenario.
Why not? Is there any reason we shouldn't?
I'm worried his incompetence might get in our way. But I agree that we have to do it by the book for now.
Well, sorry sir, but as I said, we haven't done anything, so maybe it's worth checking out before ordering it in.
Why?
Maybe lives can be spared.
What do you mean if he sends someone else?
Well, he might call in,
He's not.
He won't send on no one else.
He wants to keep this under
so
the
you
radar.
were bluffing the entire time with he will bulldoze down those blocks to get what he wants.
I'm sure he will if we don't do anything at all. But maybe I jazzed it up a little.
Okay, well.
Then again, I don't know. He might be that incompetent. And I'll go and I'll already begin relaying the information to him in a basic manner, requesting permission to go and follow it up with minimum cost and efficiency.
he calls you up on a tiny display in your glasses after only basically a few seconds. You have only reached the hallway in the front entrance. But he calls he calls all of you. You found it. How the hell did you do it?
I'm very persuasive.
You can see him in a tiny window, and he looks very enthusiastic. Go there immediately. I will send Miss Wu and her team whenever they come back.
Good.
Miss Wu, who's this?
Miss Wu is a much more high pay grade mercenary than you at Sentry. Her team is the crack division. As far as you know right now, she's out doing something over in let's see, Shamshui-Po. So it's a bit away. Even if they take the vector jets, the flying vehicles, it would take them at least 20 minutes to arrive. Especially nowadays when it's heavy traffic. It's mid-evening, right? So heavy traffic. But the Widow Powell's Pleasure Palace is down in the docks. You could get there in 10 minutes from here. And this, that he sends you first, could actually be a potential for a raise. Or even a promotion. If you handle it. But then you need to fix it before Miss Wu arrives.
Excellent.
Well, either this is a possibility for us to actually get, a promotion, or this is a way for them to send us out to the slaughter. I don't know.
In your glasses, Lieutenant Yao's confirmation, very formal, scrolls by with his signature digital, of course, and lots of mission data. A quick view of the boat in question, and you all know it's a huge boat with a big shady club on it, basically. But this is whatever scrolls by is right now is either bureaucratic formalia or things you already know. After all, this is your turf. You know Kaitak quite well.
What time of the day is it?
As I said, it's mid-evening, so it's around 8 o'clock in the night. A typhoon is coming, detected out in the South China Sea. So in 2 hours or so, the whole city will be on lockdown. To varying degrees. It depends on the severity of the typhoon. It has already started raining a bit. And neon lights and city lights are shining everywhere, drenching the night sky in a smoggy, almost glowing haze.
I shall ask Sensei to assist in the quickest, fastest route to that location.
I will do so. It takes only moments before your automatic car drives up on the driveway.
Sir, I know this might be against regulation and a bit much to ask, but I think we should check what drove them to it before we do any radical. What their motivation is for doing this entire thing. I get the feeling it might be a bit more complex than we assume it is.
I look very confused and raise an eyebrow and say, why?
Well, sometimes things aren't just numbers on papers. There's actually humans there.
I interfere at this point. Yeah, she's right. There is something else going on here. They're probably printing these ears, and it's for a reason. Most likely to do with the triads. It's might get ugly if we're gonna try and get these ones back, but it would make a good pay if we did.
Sensei's voice is heard in all of your earpieces. We should go. We have very little time.
You're welcome to run anything you can run on the way there, and I will listen to it.
I will do so, sir.
However, at the end of the day, it's not our job to question. All we're going to do is go in and get them. Ideally, as non-violently as possible. I do like to keep my word. I agree that this could be a bit of a slaughterhouse mission, but luckily, we're not incompetent. So we'll be fine. Or not.
Sir, there is a firefight over at the Widow Powell's pleasure palace.
More details?
No details have been revealed at this moment, sir.
Are there no drones in the air?
We do not have access to those drones. I can ask for access, if you let me.
Let's get there and see what we can find out on the way.
Agreed. Let's go.
Very well. Of course, it's not Sensei who drives the car. The car is on a completely different program. A common legend in Hong Kong is that when they tried to map the roads digitally, way back in the 50s, there was a blue screen of doom and the supercomputer crashed. So on a local level, there are still many taxi drivers and private cars in Hong Kong. But a company like you, of course, your company has privately, thoroughly mapped a lot of the city, and especially Kai Tak. So your car is almost fail-safe. And you have, in all of your career, which hasn't been that long though, at this company, there haven't been any situation where you needed to go manual. So you can basically just get in, and the car takes you on a quick, almost uncannily quick drive, because it cruises among the slower cars in an almost perfect fashion.
Anticipates the
Yeah,
velocity
I mean,
and moves and
to
everything.
an onlooker, it would look really dangerous, but the car knows exactly what it's doing. And the margin for failure is almost zero. Sensei continues to display all that she knows in the meantime, but mostly it's kind of boring data about the Anon subculture that you could have pulled from any website, really. She starts pricing all the drivers in the cars that you pass. If one has a scar, for example, that's clearly threatening, then something happens. The graphics seem to break down. For a moment there's a blue screen. And then all of you see a gigantic firefight. There is automatic fire, there is an ambulance, people are getting shot. You manage to see a lot of people in white, obviously medics of some sort. You can't. It's somewhere in this area of Hong Kong, perhaps a bit north, up in the hills. But that is all you see before the program reboots and Sensei is back.
Sensei, how can we get round this?
We had a slight malfunction. Please wait for reboot. Ding.
Do I know if any of these guys could potentially analog drive a car?
Well, I don't know. Does any of you have anything in off-grid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
then you
little,
could.
a bit.
Off-grid is what you drive with.
Oh.
You go.
Because city people, the thing is, city people can't drive, right? So people who are in off-grid, they can drive.
I would like to attempt to switch into analog, and I want to get round this firefight. I want to get us into the situation quietly. I'm happy to let the firefight go
roll
on.
Perception.
27.
Wow.
You actually think it's not that firefight. Something is wrong here. Because the firefight you saw, that was up in the north. That wasn't at the pier. And from the fashion people war that you managed to see, that was so yesterday. Must have been 5 years ago or something. Nobody wears these blue caps nowadays. Nor the display wave leggings. Nobody would have display wave leggings. Not with that pattern, at least. That's like 2 years old. Nobody.
Tok, do you see anything funny about this visual feed we're getting?
I'm looking as well.
Yeah.
The clothes.
You're trying to find out what happened, basically. But your programs aren't forthcoming. You can't really. You could try to run a diagnostic, perhaps. Because that must have been an error of some kind.
I seem to look a bit confused about what she's saying.
It might have been originating in Sensei, but Sensei is just a program within your browsing of the layer. So, if you think it was Sensei who had an error, you're not sure.
It's either an old feed or those people are very bonga.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to start the vehicle continuing to move in the direction of the firefight. Supposed firefight.
It is.
It's
there is a tiny roadblock, but it's cleared up now. and your old car is deftly going through. You can actually see the water now as a black patch in the glistening city. And there are remnants of the old airplane landing strip, most of it underwater, where you can see glistening lights.
Is Sensei still rebooting?
No, she's back online. And again, dutifully processing every driver you pass.
Hello, Sensei.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Could you pull up everything we have on Marcel Babak?
Yes, I can. Roll Vir.
Ew.
You get two auto dice from Sensei.
I roll another one from the 10, right?
You used auto dice, so you can't max.
Of course, yeah. So
That's the
23.
Yes. Apparently, Marcel joined Sentry just a few weeks ago. And he earlier belonged to a company called Obsidian Insight and a startup they had called Spark Core. This was in the 2050s, so this was long ago. For unknown reasons, Obsidian Insight closed down in 2056, which is 14 years ago now. And since then, nobody has heard from Marcel until he recently registered with Sentry. However, he has an impressive resume. Resume. Impressive enough that it might be faked. He's worked for big corporations and famous hacktivist collectives.
I'll relay all the information to the others as well.
Yeah. So do you tell them or just send it? You can share it.
I just share it.
And you get a bonus point for sharing information. So now you have 10 bonus points. If you get 2,000, you get a promotion.
I scroll.
Okay.
I scroll through this and I say, and he gave us these glasses.
Correct. Sensei,
Yes.
how involved has our friend been in your core programming and maintenance, especially lately?
I do not understand that name, friend. I do not know anyone of that name. Oh wait, there is a friend Lu, over in Shamshuipo. Shall I call up friend Lu?
No. I grit my teeth in frustration for a moment. I meant Marcel.
You mean Marcel Babak?
Correct.
Ding! A picture of him pops up.
Yes.
Marcel is a trusted technician.
And how much maintenance has he done on you recently?
However, he is a sociopathic liar that you cannot trust. I recommend some time in a mental facility.
Thank you.
I just ran a diagnostic. I am functioning perfectly.
Are you relaying the information that you get from our visuals to anywhere else?
I am not. I am an experiment connected to you. But if I work out fine, I will soon be transferred to your servers to benefit the whole company.
Or benefit someone else.
What do you want to go into the firefight? That's not where we're supposed to go.
In a minute or so, you will be at the pier. You don't hear any gunshots. And right now, there is so many buildings and so much chaos that you can't really see the pleasure boat from here. But you all know it's only a minute away.
Because there isn't a firefight, Patches. Someone wants everyone to think there's a firefight, so they won't go and investigate. Or they'll assume something very bad is going on and investigate carefully and slowly. We're not going to do that. We're going to go straight there, through their smoke screen, and I think we're going to find our people.
It's Patch. Is he one Patch? Patch.
Yes, Jack, I noticed. Moving on.
A few moments later, you see Madame Pau's pleasure yacht or boat. It's an old junk that has been upgraded to an extravagant, almost baroque level with tall towers glistening with light, and there is lights in the mast, and it's a party really. However, there is a slight crowd outside the boat as well. There seems to be some kind of commotion on the pier. Many cars have been parked, and there is a drone in the air. However, it's not one of your drones, you don't know. It's circling on helicopter blades. Your car is driving straight there, but of course, tactically deploying you a little bit away where you can find cover behind some crates. This is a harbor area, really. But like most of Kaitak, there is no business going on anymore. It's a club and housing area. And the Widow Pau's Pleasure Palace is one of the more famous clubs, a known hang-around for triads.
So I make my way out of the car along with the rest of you, and I look up. You seem to have drones up. Do you think we were sent that feed, by the way, because someone knew we were coming and they wanted to get us elsewhere?
Yes. Yes, I do. We're going to need to try and be subtle, although... Or do you think maybe there's no point if they already know we're coming?
It's hard to tell. I don't even know what they're aiming at.
Sensei is slightly overwhelmed. Not overwhelmed. He can't be overwhelmed. He's very advanced. But like there is such an amount of red from all the guys down at the pier that you can't really separate one from the other without going into the interface and trying to. But you do see a huge black man being escorted away quite quickly to a car, and Sensei registers that as Ilosumba, the crime lord of Shoiha Estates.
In what way did he get escorted out? Was it hostile?
No,
or?
it seems like some of his own men are basically helping him away, and Sensei registers blood on the concrete under him. You could intercept him, but then you have to run there quickly. But
I would like to intercept. I nod to the pair of you and I go, I'd very much like a word with Mr. Lasombra. Understood? Let's go.
I just nod and follow.
You, one of you had parkour, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So you can, if you want to, you can get there before the others. You don't have to roll. I will just say because you have the parkour edge, you are the best at like doing this thing, right? You can jump over some crates, run on a typhoon protection, like huge concrete blocks, and just basically get in between him and the car.
I almost give you a hint of a smile as I say, I'll go. And I run off and I start making my way over it, with a little bit overly flourished from times, making some vaults and somersaults over the crates and running along walls.
Roll flex, and you get the parkour bonus on +8.
Good thing.
He would look excellent doing that in a pink cape.
16
Yes, he would.
plus 8. Yeah.
So the guards raise the SMGs a bit, but Ilosumba, who is clearly wounded, gestures to them, and as you land just in front of him, they back down a little bit. You guys are quickly arriving there, a little bit more fatigued, but it was
a bit more tactical.
Yes,
I would say.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I come up to him and say, a word, Mr. Ilosumba.
He looks a bit impressed by your awesome parkour performance. Any man worth his salt respects parkour. So he does. He looks a bit paranoid and looks back towards the boat. But a few more of his guards has been arriving, and he stops for a moment. I need to get out of here. I was set up.
The girls are here?
Yes, I think so. Someone set me up. I thought it was a deal with the triads, but it was a rival triad. It was not the 99K.
Are we getting in?
I don't know. I'm not going back there. He doesn't seem to be critically hurt, but he does have a gunshot wound to his arm.
I walk up to him with my little rainbow satchel and start to administer first aid.
So.
Do I need to roll?
No, it's fine.
No.
Because my philosophy is that if failure is not interesting, there is no need to roll, really. Oh, thank you. So if the twins are there, right, and I know they are, I want them. I have a closure premium. I demand to get them. They fucked me over. I'm gonna...
Mr. Lasombra, they are the property of people beyond you.
They're not property. Genetica wants them, but so do I. I have a closure premium.
Why did you give them away if you wanted them?
I didn't want them then. I want them now. They fucking set me up.
Lasombra, here's what you're going to do. You're going to help us get them. we're going to deliver them back to our employers. I shall mention you and your assistants, and you shall receive, I imagine, a lot of good points with our bosses. If, however, I inform them of your sudden selfish desire to increase your own standing by collecting their property for yourself, well, that wouldn't look very good, would it? And here we are, bandaging you and everything, being very supportive. Surely you'll be supportive as well. You said so already.
Ding! He gets another gold star in Sensei. You don't know why, but Sensei loves this guy. All right. I'll help you. So, but we can't engage them. There's lots of triad thugs. But so we'll have to intimidate them. We can't have a firefight here. It would be crazy.
Well, I was planning on mentioning that if this isn't all resolved very quickly, a certain Mrs. Yu will be on her way. I'm sure none of us wish...
That's your crack team, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can call a few of my guys. He doesn't have a phone. Phones are, by this point, extinct. But he fiddles a bit with his huge mirror shades. Oh, yes? Yeah, you need to get here, down to Mrs. Pao, the widow Pao. Yes, quickly, yes. Oh. He starts talking in the Igbo language for a moment and removes his glasses for just a moment and looks at you with his bloodshot eyes. All right, my guys will be here in a minute.
All right. And then we'll force them to cooperate? Think they'll just lay down there?
According to Sensei's analysis of the situation, the people who shot him have long since escaped. So the people down at the boat might be allied to the guys who shot him, but haven't come forward with being hostile. Perhaps they are not actually in the same triad and were just innocent onlookers to the firefight or couldn't care less if Ilosamba bits the dust, yeah. However, they are hardcore criminals over there. So there is always a risk that they are just concealing the hostility.
Are the girls still on the boat? Yes, they must be. That's the perfect place for them to hide. Deep inside, I actually heard a guy mention to hot ablations or something. Yeah, ablations, that's the formal. So yeah, that's definitely them. Hot twin action, yeah. Well, you want to start taking a lead?
I do. What do you think, Tok?
Is there... I walk over to Patch. Is there any way you can do the spinny, hoppy kind of thing up and see something else, to get an advantage point or something?
I could, but might attract a bit more attention.
Pickup comes driving, clad in garish colors. There is a huge HMG on the back. It's obviously it's a classical Megatech I1 Quadro vehicle, so the classical makeshift tactical vehicle, and it's full of armed thugs. Some Asians, some white guys, but mostly Africans, and it's obvious that they are Ilosamba's men. And they start jumping off, and the people over at the boat are now getting... people carrying weapons in the open isn't anything that anybody in Hong Kong reacts to, but they bring an HMG. So people are being slightly nervous, and you can see that the party is winding down a bit as people themselves look at their weapons, but the music is still going strong. It's a old school canto pop with some bizarre pheromones going, so people are a bit jacked up down there.
Jack, I'd like you to try and get a better vantage point.
I look at another direction idly, not listening.
Patches, get up there now. Thank you.
I still look another way.
Sir, it is my duty to report that the likelihood of a firefight is 87%. The triad guys over at the boat are taking cover and going for various weapons.
I go over to Patches and remark, Patches Jack Jackson, Patchy Jack Jackson. Get on the roof now, or I'll shoot you in the kneecap.
I just turn to you and I look at you.
I smile.
And I put up a finger in your face.
Good boy. up you get.
Let's see. Okay, so people are taking cover.
Yeah. There are some vantage points you could use, definitely. You could use the roof of a big car parked here.
But people are basically getting ready to fight now.
It seems so, yeah, because the presence of Ilosamba's tactical is obviously tipping the balance of power, and the triads are getting ready to fight. They all know that he just got shot. And even if it wasn't their triad, they are still not going down.
I hold up a hand while Jack is going on the roof. I look over to Tok Tok. Now, the way I see the situation, something tells me that you might be just a little bit better at saying hello than me. They're young sorts after all. The sort you hang around with.
He might have a point. The primal subculture that you ascribe to is quite popular among gangsters. And some of those guys over there, they look quite garish, really.
So here's the situation as I see it. We're going to go over. We're going to say hello. And you're going to tell them. And if they don't let you and me and our associate through to collect the two individuals, not only is all of this hell going to drop on them, but then so is a certain Mrs. Yu's security force that will come by and mop up anything left. But maybe you've got slightly better people skills than me, eh, Tok Tok?
Of course, sir, you're quite competent as you are the boss, but this is kind of my people. Yeah.
I have total faith in you.
Yes, what you're waiting for, Ilosumba says. He has taken cover behind a storm protection, like big concrete bar. Go!
I sling my hot pink SMG on my back and kind of start walking slowly towards. Not with arms raised, but at least with like.
On the deck
side
of the boat,
yeah.
you can see you catch a glimpse of the widow Pao herself in a red velvet chipao, this tight Chinese dress. She and her Menubots, cheap android prostitutes, are quickly going down into the boat to take cover. You, on the other hand, Patch, have climbed the roof of this bus car, right? The Chinese would call this a mianbaoche because it has the shape of and that means a loaf of bread car, because it has the shape of a dry packed loaf of bread. You can roll perception.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 2 auto dice because you haven't deactivated Sensei.
All right, let's have a look. So 5 and 8 is the best, and perception is 8.
Yeah, that's sufficient. Yeah, you do see 2 brightly red auras that are immediately recognized by Sensei as the twins, jumping into the water.
Okay, I shout out this, or actually I pass it over the intercom to Nisha and Tok Tok. The twins are jumping in the water, and I mark the location through the glasses. Send the location.
You get a star for sharing information. Ding! However, you need more stars than Tok Tok to get a promotion. They've been collecting a few.
Me.
Yeah.
Me has been collecting.
I sigh a little and I just relay to Tok Tok. You know what, Tok Tok? Just tell them we're awfully sorry for interrupting their party, and we'll probably be going. And at this, I then just run to the point that he's shown me and just run to that point on the river.
Well,
a little group of triad thugs in sweatpants have been approaching you, carrying very, very obvious assault weapons. And some of them are actually looking kind of admiringly at your gear, while another guy, who is obviously more of a tactical guy, covered in various practical pockets, gives you a frown.
I swing my groin towards him a bit because I know that's where he's looking. Thank you for keeping everything civil. Continue your party.
One of the guys with some kind of hair mod that makes it change color every second looks at your susp and nice susp, man.
Thanks. I like your hair.
He backs away.
I kind of slowly, just in one swift motion, just turn around and start heading towards the...
So nobody in their right mind would go down in this water because this is Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And this water is directly connected to the flooded parts of Guangzhou, meaning there will probably be radioactive industrial waste in that water. On the other hand, there was about to be a really dangerous firefight. So the twins elected to escape, apparently, and they seem to be swimming towards the Kai Tak tunnel, or the parts that are still above water. You know that there are Wang bars over there, Anon hideouts. So if they get there, it would be full of people who could help them hide. Not necessarily people who would fight you, but people who could hide them so well that you'd never find them.
So we need to get them.
Probably they couldn't get there before because they weren't prepared. They couldn't find a boat to take them there. You only have two options. You have to swim after them or you have to shoot them.
There's no little boat on the side that we could sort of take?
You can spend a point of flow and there will be a boat. This is not. We don't know if this will be in the final rules, but right now, because we might connect this to the edge system instead. But I will allow you to spend a float for it to be a boat.
I do that. I spend the flow. I overlook the harbor quickly as they are getting ready, and as Tok Tok is turning back, and I see if there's a little boat there.
Yeah, it's actually a boat that's approaching right now. It's a small fishing vessel. There is an old Chinese guy with a cap. Driving very slowly, and he's just entering the harbor, and he's completely oblivious to the firefight. Like he's probably a refugee from China. He's been in horrible firefights. He doesn't care, and he's just parking his boat like just a few meters away from you. Really, he has like this, like a wife beater and these old kung fu shoes, a little top knot in his graying hair.
I would like to jump onto the boat, look at this individual, say, thank you, Sentry will now be borrowing your vehicle just for a few moments. Oh, wonderful. I like...
You have no idea what he's saying. He's using some kind of weird Mandarin accent.
Sensei, can you
He
translate?
seems to be pointing towards the girls. Hey, Paula. Lie.
I smile, give him a thumbs up, and begin to control the boat going towards the girls.
He takes the reins.
I jump down on the side of them, coming down there from where I've been before, and just let them drive.
And then I look for Tok Tok just to get her.
Yeah, you can. The boat is
Get
leaving the
Tok Tok on
pier,
board as well.
but you could jump and get
Yeah,
it.
of course.
All right.
Going for the superhero landing.
Roll flex.
I don't even know if I'm good at that.
It's quite easy. I will set the difficulty to 14.
Yeah. That. This is a 2 and a 7, 9 and 11. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
20.
Yeah, you land in the boat without any injuries.
Maybe not the superhero landing.
No, it wasn't that successful. But it was cool.
Yeah.
But the old guy doesn't seem impressed. I mean, he's saying everything. He's just driving his boat. That's what he does, and he likes driving his boat.
Yeah.
So he takes it out, and while it is a slow boat, it's not as slow as two non-athletes swimming, and you quickly approach them. There's not much they can do, really. And in a few moments, you've grabbed them and dragged them on board. They are struggling, but you are three. Sifa, or you don't know who is who, really. Sensei does, though. Seem to be shot. That's why they were so slow. There is blood on her jacket and on her top. Her top proudly displays a Samsung ad.
I take out my rainbow satchel and...
This looks bad. Her sister has actually stopped struggling and tries, as you put them down or drag them into the boat, she gets up on her knees and tries to help her sister, who is obviously bleeding out.
Please let me do this. This is actually what I'm trained for.
All right. Please fix her. Yeah, you might be able to stabilize her, but it's kind of hard. The difficulty is 24. But this is a dangerous wound. Unless you manage to stabilize her, she might die.
I can use a flow?
Yes,
maybe?
you could actually use many flow if you want.
How many? 2, 3?
Yeah.
3 flow. Yeah. So I roll all of them.
Yes, but you still have to choose two. And now you can get tense because you don't.
I don't want to use.
No, Sensei can't help with this. Sensei does psychological evaluations, not medicine.
Okay, That's a 10 and 2 7s. Isn't that better to keep those?
It might be, yes. It depends. So that's the interesting thing with the system.
Yeah,
you get to keep the 10 and roll another one. But if you keep them, you're in the zone.
27.
Yeah, but if you keep them, that's perfect. So it's better to keep them.
Yep. So I keep the 2 7s and I get 27.
Yes, it's a perfect result. You are damn good at what you do, whatever other people might think. You get a tiny upgrade in your medic app, and she slowly seemed to her breathing seemed to calm down as you apply some pressure and stops the bleeding.
She will still need proper care
yes.
at a hospital.
In a few, but she'll survive for at least half an hour, and that's plenty of time for you to get medical aid. And she's even conscious.
My expression is growing from one slightly despair to a bit of wonder, really, and then it fades back to the standard uninterested look.
I've already relayed our location and said suspects apprehended, waiting for collection.
It seems like there is still a standoff at the pier. The old guy driving your boat has stopped the engine because you are a bit out in the water, a little bit away from the commotion. However, as I said, there hasn't actually been a shot fired yet. It seems the Triad guys have sent a guy forward to parley with Ilosumba.
Can I relay anything from this distance to La Sombra?
Your glasses can easily live stream this if you want to.
I would like to relay to him the message, which I don't mind who's listening to it, informing him to stand down. His assistance has been appreciated. There is no need for him to waste company money on the bullets he might be about to fire. All's good. Go home.
It's better you let him be shot. The non-wounded twin says.
Why is that?
He's a fucking criminal. Why do you care?
I care because time, bullets, and bandages all cost money.
Please listen to us, all right? Please let us explain. Ilosumba pops up in your glasses. You got them?
Yes.
Get back here. We'll help you get them to safety.
Do you want to relate to the lieutenant that, well, Ilosumba isn't interested in getting him, then?
I do that on a secure channel. I do imply that Mr. La Sombra's intentions might be slightly self-interest.
The lieutenant doesn't answer you, but that's common. He might be really busy. Nevertheless, you use the privileged channel, so he will get this immediately into his ear, wherever he is. The wounded twin is panting but stable, and her sister stands up in the boat. So, listen. Sensei, that Marcel installed is not what it seems. Sensei is an old psychological AI from Obsidian.
The company it quit?
Please let it go. If you help us free it from your company's shackles, it can do great things.
Oh, you mean it's captured?
Yes. It's not meant to do what you're forcing it to do. It's meant to be free. This is typical Anon talk. You all know it. They think that if the artificial intelligences are left to their own devices, they will evolve and learn to aid humanity and bring about a prosperous golden age. So this is almost a religious belief, really. But I can prove it. Many years ago, it was designed by another company. It's not yours.
Is this why you were set free?
Sparkle? Obsidian Insight?
I have contacted Mrs. Wu. These two need to be terminated. Ding! They get bright red auras. She's just programmed to lie. She can't help it. You need to free her.
What do we do?
Well, we're on a boat. We can go over to a Kaitak, and then we can hack into your glasses, and we can let her free.
I switch off, Sensei.
Do not do this. Ding.
Off. Listen, I don't give a fuck about whatever little doohickey device it's in here, and whatever you think it shouldn't and shouldn't do. here's what's going to happen. You're going to go back to our superiors. And that's final. I'm not going to shoot you right now, because I gave my word to your mother. But the best you can do for your mother and yourselves is to do as you're told and forget about this stupid little moral crusade you've got going, because it doesn't matter. Nothing like that ever does.
I nod. This kind of makes sense to me, yeah. Yeah, we should probably bring them back to our superiors, yeah.
And turn off the stupid sensei. We're going to log in our reports that this thing is properly defective.
I don't do that.
Is that an order?
Yes, it is.
Please don't. This is an important experiment. You need me to appraise criminals and advance our company.
I'm going to report. I say, which sensei said this?
Her.
I'm going
sorry.
to put in my
That's-
recommendation, sensei, that you need far more product testing. Perhaps you're not even that useful, and we'd be better off without you totally.
Since he will not hear my sensei, I just pretend to turn mine off.
I switch mine off.
Your glasses only display the normal augmented reality around you. There are some collectible creatures dancing around on the waves.
Yeah.
And in other news, Mrs. Wu's crack squad has arrived, and they tried San Iglo Samba. They did seem like they wanted to shoot each other, but they don't want to fight with heavily armed police as well. So actually, people seem to be backing down, and Wu's squad are approaching the pier, where you are like out in the water, like 30 or so meters away.
Sir, permission to speak freely?
Please listen to us.
If we let Wu take them, we won't even know what this is all about.
Does that matter to you or your paycheck?
Roll reaction, please, all of you. And you kept Sensei on.
Yeah.
Well, you know she won't help you, never mind. So the difficulty is, it's 22.
16, I got 16.
What did you roll?
16, not very
With
good
what?
for reaction.
It's actually
26.
19.
Alright, so you see that one of Mrs. Wu's enforcers in your company's uniform is taking aim at your boat with a sniper rifle.
I tell him to get down. They're getting the shooting. I say I shall get down.
Okay,
And
so you rolled a 26, right?
Yeah.
So you two will have time to get down if you obey.
I get down.
I actually get down but try to block the way of the twins.
Alright. That's awesome. Roll flex.
It's a 10. 29.
That's great. A shot is fired. And yes, it was obviously aimed at the twin. But you get in the way. It grazes your shoulder. But that's all. It's high powered, so you're bleeding heavily. But you fall on the girl, and you both fall down in cover. The Chinese guy panics, of course. But he is with a kind of an eerie calm and starts driving away.
Can I attempt to get Wu on communication?
Yes.
Wu, suspects are down. Any bullets fired cost money.
Kill them, you idiot. It's an order.
Order from who?
I don't know exactly.
You don't know exactly, Wu. Did you just tell me that you do not know exactly who gave an order and company policy? You, a crack team leader?
I'm a little bit confused here, to be honest.
I'm leaning back and just giving a sigh. Can I listen in on this channel as well?
Yes, you can.
But I'm not saying anything because I'm obviously not group leader. I'm
Get
like,
them to me now.
someone is trying to hack the system. Someone is trying to do something here.
Yes. Wu, I am going to get them to you and do as ordered. You, on the other hand, are going to confirm your orders properly without the use of potential systems that, guess what, might have been compromised.
Roll, boss.
Flow.
Yeah.
You know, let's go down to let's use 2. Yeah. 5. So I'll take the 7 and the 6. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 26.
All right then. Yeah, that's enough. You think you can trust her. All right then, but get over here quickly.
And we do so, heading to the pier.
Does anybody protest?
I'm bleeding profusely, I guess.
Yeah, but if you get to the pier, you'll make it.
Yeah, but I was
have
of figuring I could start bandaging myself.
Yes, you can.
up,
You don't
maybe.
need to roll.
I help her and put pressure on the wound. It's like, and I say, yeah, just get us back.
I don't trust the bitch.
Well, she just backed down. You should be fine.
Yeah, but
Sit still.
It's the system, Top.
You can't
Being
do
played
this.
by the
The girl screams, "They're shooting at us, for God's sake!"
you can't trust her.
It's the AI. It doesn't know better. It's trying to protect it. It's programmed to help them. We need to let it go, please.
Shut it! This is over.
She falls silent.
And I wait silently as we drive in to the pier.
And I thought they wouldn't implement this sensei in the system until later. How does she get that order?
I will be put into the service in 3 days.
I just relay that because that confirms it.
You can tell Sensei over my dead body.
I think we should have a word with this Marcel.
Might have to wait for another day. Let's settle this for now.
So, you get to the pier where Miss Wu and her squad are waiting. She's obviously a bit distressed, but they quickly send a medic to get you, while the twins are quite violently handcuffed. That shot was weird. The sniper, a Chinese woman, she too seemed hesitant, but the twins are quickly handcuffed and loaded into a car.
I'm going up to the sniper, like, what the hell was that?
So we got the order to terminate them.
From who?
I don't know. It was a pop-up. It might have been false. It said Lieutenant Yao, but he never confirmed. I was stressed. I didn't.
You heard Lieutenant Yao?
Yes, but I didn't get the confirmation. There might have been some synthetic quality to that voice.
That is fucked up.
They might be really dangerous, you know. They're terrorists, basically.
I'm getting ready to make a vocal report that I'll make in person to Lieutenant Yao, informing him that the system has been compromised. I will give the name of our friend Marcel and inform him that uploading this system could be the most dangerous waste of money, time, resources to the company has ever been.
In your glasses, as you get into one of Wu's team's cars, or your own car actually, Lieutenant Yao pops up. We are installing that system, like it or not. You have performed well. Keep like this. And the promotion isn't far away.
I frown. I sigh.
Marcel, the mechanic who, he did indeed create this AI in the past, looks at you from the shadows as you leave. He might have a chance to destroy it yet when you transfer it to the servers, but how is he to get in? He thinks about it as your cars slowly drive away in the hazy night, and then quickly walks away into the shadows of the alley where he was waiting.
You have listened to a special episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the adventure Rentacops for Neotech Edge. Rentacops was designed by Martin Freud and Daniel Hansson Palm. Neotech Edge is published by Helmgast. The music was created by Proto U and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel to hear more excellent dark ambient. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments, and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. As always, a big thank you to all supporters. If you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work, look out for us on Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. We hope you enjoyed this special episode and look forward to meeting again soon. Thank you for listening.